Welcome to Pre-Algebra Summer Review number 6, Adding or Subtracting Fractions with Like Denominators. Being able to add and subtract fractions is very important for pre-algebra. To add or subtract fractions, you must have a like or common denominator. Let's start with adding or subtracting fractions that already have this like or common denominator. So let's review. We have 1 over 5, or 1/5, plus 2/5 equal 3/5. Let's start with just a little bit of review as to what we're doing here. So the top number is always called your numerator, and the bottom number is your denominator. So what we do in adding fractions with like denominators is we add our numerators together. So 1 plus 2 is 3, and our denominators stay the same, so 5. So your answer is 3/5. For number 2, we're going to subtract. So again, we're going to take 5/7 minus 3/7, and we get 2/7 because we subtract our numerators and our denominator stays the same. Don't forget that when adding or subtracting fractions, you must also think about simplifying. So you don't want to forget to simplify fractions when necessary. So let's look at the next ones. We have 1/9 plus 2/9. So we're going to add our numerators. 1 plus 2 is 3. The denominator stays the same. Now 3/9 we know is not in simplest form because 3 and 9 is divisible by 3. So we divide both the numerator and the denominator by the GCF, which is 3, and we get 1 over 3, or 1/3. In number 4, we're subtracting, so we have 5/6 minus 2/6. We take the numerators and subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3. The denominator stays the same. Again, we can see they're not in simplest form because 6 is divisible by 3, so we're going to divide both the numerator and the denominator by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So notice that we had to find the GCF. Now, if you don't know how to find the GCF, there are many different ways to find the GCF. You can use the factor tree, you can use anything with prime numbers. I prefer to use a ladder, so I'm going to show you my ladder method, and we'll use it again in the next few sections. So we have 3 and 9, our numerator and our denominator. So numerator, denominator. What we want to do is we want to find a prime number that these are divisible by. Now keep in mind that prime numbers are numbers that have only two factors, one in themselves. So let's go up here and make a list. So 0 and 1 are not prime numbers. The first prime number is 2 because the only numbers you can multiply to get 2 are 1 and 2. And then we have 3, 1 times 3. How about 4? Is 4 prime? No, 4 is not prime because you have 1 times 4, but you also have 2 times 2. The next one's 5. How about 6? No, 6 is not prime because 1 times 6 is 6, but also 2 times 3 is 6. So other than the even number 2, no other even numbers are going to be prime because all even numbers are going to be divisible by 2. So they're going to be odd, but obviously not all odd numbers. So we've got 7. Our next odd number is 9. Is 9 prime? No, because 9 is 1 times 9, or 3 times 3. So our next odd number is 11, and it is prime. And then 13, and it is prime. And then 15, and 15 is not prime because you can multiply 3 times 5 to get 15. The next one would be 17. And that's plenty of numbers for our list because basically most of the time you're going to use these first 3 when making your GCF ladder. So let's go back and let's ask ourselves, can we divide 3 and 9 by 2? No. So let's go to the next prime number on our list, and that's 3. Can we divide 3 and 9 by 3? Yes. So we're going to put 3 out here. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So there's your new numerator, 1, denominator, 3. So we'll go over here for the ladder on this one. Here we have 3 and 6. Our numerator is 3, our denominator is 6. So we're going to ask ourselves, are 3 and 6 both divisible by 2? And they're not, because 3 doesn't divide by 2. So we'll go to the next number in our list, and that is 3, and ask ourselves, are 3 and 6 both divisible by 3? And they are. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. So there's our new numerator, 1, and our new denominator, 2. All right, let's go down to the bottom and try these. We have 4/7 plus 1/7, so we're going to add our numerators. 4 plus 1 is 5, and the denominator stays the same. On number 6, we're going to subtract our numerators. 2 minus 1 is 1, denominator stays the same. In number 7, we'll subtract our numerators. 5 minus 1 is 4, denominator stays the same. So we have 4/8. Both numbers are even, so we know they're not in simplest form. If you know right away that both divide by 4, the GCF, and it's 1/2, then you're good to go. If not, you can use your ladder. So 4 and 8. So we know that 4 and 8 are both divisible by 2, which is our first number in the list. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So let's look at 2 and 4. Are 2 and 4 still divisible by 2? Yes. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. Here's my new numerator, and here's my new denominator. In number 8, we're going to add 2 plus 1 is 3, and the denominator stays the same. And we should know at this point that anytime we have a numerator and the denominator the same, they simplify to 1. So hopefully this has helped you to understand adding or subtracting fractions with like denominators, as well as simplifying fractions. If so, let's go ahead and turn to the next page. We've got homework number 6, adding or subtracting fractions with like denominators. You have 8 problems. Keep in mind that you need to remember to simplify your fractions if necessary, and show any work that you need to show. No calculator should be used on this assignment, and it will be due in August when school starts.